think we covered up to probably 9 or 10. So what I will do is just briefly read the translations so we can get the flow of the pastime of Lord Ramachandra. So text number 9, I'll read the translation. While wandering in the forest where he accepted a life of hardship, carrying his invincible bow and arrows in his hand, Lord Ramachandra deformed Ravana's sister, who was polluted with lusty desires, by cutting off her nose and ears. He also killed her 14,000 Rakshasa friends, headed by Khara, Trishira and Dushana. Text 10. O King Parishit, when Ravana, who had 10 heads on his shoulders, heard about the beautiful and attractive features of Sita, his mind was agitated by lusty desires, and he went to kidnap her. To distract Lord Ramachandra from his ashram, Ravana sent Maricha in the form of a golden deer, and when Lord Ramachandra saw that wonderful deer, he left his residence and followed it, and finally killed it with a sharp arrow, just as Lord Shiva killed Daksha. Text 11. When Ramachandra entered the forest and Lakshman was also absent, the worst of the Rakshasas, Ravana, kidnapped Sita Devi, the daughter of the king of Videha, just as a tiger seizes unprotected sheep when the shepherd is absent. Then Lord Ramachandra wandered in the forest with his brother Lakshmana, as if very much distressed due to separation from his wife. Thus he showed by his personal example the condition of a person attached to women. I was told to read today's verse 12. So we come to this verse 12. Davatma krita hata kritam aham kapandam Sakyam vitaya kapive daita gatim tahi Budvata valini hate plava indra saner Velam agat sa manujo aja pavarchit tangrihi.
I have a question. What about the purport to 11?
Oh, we haven't covered that. So let us cover 11, and then if you have time, we'll cover 12. Yes? So I'll read the Sanskrit for 11. Raksho dhamena urkavat vitini samaksham Vaideha raja duritari apaya pitayam Pratravane kripanavat priyaya viruktaha stri sanginam katim iti prathayam chachara. When Lord Ramchandra entered the forest and Lakshman was also absent, the worst of the Rakshasas, Ravana, kidnapped Sita Devi, the daughter of the king of Videha, just as the tiger seizes unprotected sheep when the shepherd is absent. Then Lord Ramachandra wandered in the forest with his brother Lakshmana, as if very much distressed due to separation from his wife. Thus he showed by his personal example the condition of a person attached to women. Okay, so let's go one by one. Rakshad Atamena, by the most wicked among Rakshasas, Ravana. Vrikavat, like a tiger, repeating in the forest. Asha Maksham, unprotected. Vaidehi Raja Dhui Tari, by this condition of Mother Sita, the daughter of the king of Videha. Apaya Pitayam, having been kidnapped. Ratra, with his brother Mane in the forest, Kripana but as if a very distressed person. Priyarya by his dear wife. Viyukta separated. Sri Sangina of persons attracted to or connected with women. Gatim destination. Iti thus. Prathayan giving an example. Chachara. Chachare wandered. So, Srila Prabhupada's purport. In this verse, the words Sri Sanginam Gatim Iti indicate that the condition of a person attached to women was shown by the Lord Himself. According to moral instructions, Krehe Narin Vivar Janiyat, when one goes on a tour, one should not bring his wife. Formerly, men used to travel without conveyances, but still, as far as possible, when one leaves home, one should not take his wife with him, especially if one is in such a condition as Lord Ramachandra when banished by the order of his father. Whether in the forest or at home, if one is attached to women, this attachment is always troublesome, as shown by the Supreme Personality Godhead by his personal example. Of course, this is the material side of Sri Sangi, but the situation of Lord Ramachandra is spiritual, for he does not belong to the material world. Narayano Paro Vyaktat. Narayan is beyond the material creation, because he is the creator of the material world. He is not subject to the conditions of the material world. The separation of Lord Ramachandra from Sita is spiritually understood as Vipralamba, which is an activity of the Haladini Shakti, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, belonging to the Sringara Rasa, the mellow of conjugal love in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has all the dealings of love, displaying the symptoms called Sattvika, Sanchari, Vilapa, Murcha, and Anmada. Thus, when Lord Ramachandra was separated from Sita, all these spiritual symptoms were manifested. The Lord is neither impersonal nor impotent. Rather, He is Satchid Ananda Vigraha, the eternal form of knowledge and bliss. Thus, He has all the symptoms of spiritual bliss. Feeling separation from one's beloved is also an item of spiritual bliss. As explained by Srila Sarup Damodar Goswami, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vritti Haladini Shakti. The dealings of love between Radha and Krishna are displayed as the pleasure potency of the Lord. The Lord is the original source of all pleasure, the reservoir of all pleasure. Lord Ramachandra therefore manifested the truth both spiritually and materially. Materially, those who are attached to women suffer, but spiritually, when there are feelings of separation between the Lord and His pleasure potency, the spiritual bliss of the Lord increases. This is further explained in Bhagavad Gita 9:11. Avajananti mam mudha manusham tanum ashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. One who does not know the spiritual potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead thinks of the Lord as an ordinary human being. But the Lord's mind, intelligence and senses can never be affected by material conditions. This fact is further explained in the Skanda Purana as quoted by Madhvacharya. Nitya Purna Sukha Jnana Swarupo Sham Yato Vipuhu Atoshyamaiti Akhya Tasya Dukham Kuto Napi Tatapi Loka Shikshatham Aduko Dukha Vartiva Antarhitam Loka Trishtya Sitam Asit Smaran Eva. for purpose of the class, I will skip that and move on to translation. It was actually impossible for Ravan to take away Sita. The form of Sita taken by Ravan was an illusory representation of Mother Sita, Maya Sita. When Sita was tested in the fire, this Maya Sita was burnt and the real Sita came out of the fire. A further understanding to be derived from this example is that a woman, however powerful she may be in the material world, must be given protection. For as soon as she is unprotected, she will be exploited by Rakshasas like Ravana.
The electricians have turned off the electricity, is that what happened? They turned it off because they're fixing the electricity, you have no choice. Try to speak as loud as you can.
A further understanding to be derived sorry.
Knock on again.
A further understanding to be derived from this example is that a woman, however powerful she may be in the material world, must be given protection. For as soon as she is unprotected, she will be exploited by Rakshasas like Ravana. Here the words Vaitehe Raja Duhi Tari indicate that before Mother Sita was married to Lord Ramachandra, she was protected by her father, Vaitehe Raja. And when she was married, she was protected by her husband. Therefore, the conclusion is that a woman should always be protected. According to the Vedic rule, there is no scope for a woman's being independent. Ashamaksham. For a woman cannot protect herself independently. Om Jnanam Timirandasya Jnanam Shalakaya Lakshurana Asmai Shri Guru Hari Namaha Shri Chaitanya Vishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Bhakaramayam Rati Swarantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jabarakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shara Shri Guruvam Shakiratam Sadhanarakam Tam Sajivam Sadhaitam Sadhutam Parijalasatam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Shri Radha Vishakam Gitam Tam Sajivam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchatam Harupyashta Kripa Sindhu Vairascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this particular verse is pointing out the protection of women. And when a child is born, a female child is born, a girl is born, baby girl, she's looked after by her father, brought up by her father. And then when she grows up to a marriageable age, then she's looked after by her husband. And in later age, when mother gets old, father gets old, father normally goes to spend more time in spiritual places, and then the mother is looked after by the son or daughter if there is no son. This is the Vedic system, Vedic culture, that a lady should be protected, a woman should be protected. That's the main point. Now here, Sita, there's a little mention about Sita and Real Sita and Maya Sita. Real Sita is actually protected by Agni Dev. Agni Dev, protects real Sita, and then Maya Sita is the one who was abducted by Ravana. So it is not real Sita. Sita is goddess of fortune, always like Radharani. Radharani and Krishna are never separated. But they come as one, as in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are very lucky. We are worshipping other Krishna. We are also got the time. We're getting mercy all over the place. Very nice. So so Radha Krishna. So Radha Krishna, Sitaram, Lakshmi Narayan. The ladies always given more respect first. Same with Sita Devi. So that is what we should learn a little bit, that we should respect women. In England there is a saying, ladies first, so I think it's already there. In French also, okay, it is nice. Okay, the other points here in this purport is that normally Sri Sangi, in the material world, material association of women, people get degraded. It's Maya's anybody trying to in fact increase in devotional service. Maya is very strong and powerful that she come in an obstruction in various ways. Could be a lady, could be something you want, you have so many desires, so you want a new car, you want a new house, new this, new that, so Maya is always obstructing our way in devotional service. But when she sees that the devotee is actually trying his best, sincerely, to advance and progress towards Krishna, she is a servant of Krishna. Maya is a servant of Krishna, so Maya doesn't mind. If you are sincere in Krishna consciousness, Maya stays out. Maya only interferes when your mind is focused on the material desires, when you want to fulfill your senses. Ravan was told about the beauty of Sita Devi by his sister, Suparnaka. So she went and reported, oh, she's so beautiful and all these things. So Ravan became lusty. And we become lusty after women, this car, neighbor's house is good. I got a little bit jealous yesterday because the beautiful, naturally built house, like Swami and Gopaswami. So, it's a nice way, simple living and high thinking. This is Srila Prabhupada's philosophy. But I actually, for the first time, I saw that in practice yesterday. So I was very pleased. You can have a house with straw and mud and natural things. So that's very good. So basically we have to respect the women. The other purport I have recently learned in the Bhagavatam is that Sita is separated from Ram. And Radharani and the gopis were also separated from Krishna. Krishna left them in the middle of the rasa dance. And all the gopis were not happy. Where is disappeared? But Krishna has one opulence, and that is renunciation. One of the 6 opulences is renunciation. So he's not attached to the gopis, he's not attached to Radharani, he's not attached. He's showing an example of renunciation. So he leaves. And then there are several chapters in 10th canto, in the village chapters, that all the gopis are really missing him. But at the same time, everyone is talking to each other that, oh, Krishna was doing this, Krishna was doing this, Krishna was doing this. So they are always 24/7 remembering Lord Krishna. Although they are separate, from Krishna, but they are thinking about Krishna 24 hours a day. So this vipralamba, this separation, is such a high level of emotions that is higher than sambandha. You know, when you're with your Guru Maharaj, okay, you serve him, you are nearby, close vicinity, and that is called Vapu. And then, you know, if you give some instructions, like Srila Prabhupada, he was traveling all over the world, he could not be in all places at one time. So, but everyone wanted to serve Srila Prabhupada. So what happened? Wherever Srila Prabhupada is, the devotees there can enjoy his association. But the rest of the world is still progressing through his Vani, as called instructions. So it's very important to actually, that is more important. The instruction by Guru Maharaj is more important than actually association. Yeah? So that is something we should take away today, that Vani is more important than Vapu. So anyway, the gopis example is so nice that every gopi then describes one pastime of Krishna, another one then says another story. So whole of Canto 10, or half of Canto 10 is 5 chapters are just about that. So here we just have to accept that Sita Devi is separate from Lord Ram, and Lord Ram is very much affected by not having Sita in the sight of but he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is all a pastime. He knows what is happening, but he's playing the part of a human being. This is, and then in 9/11, people don't understand that he's the Supreme Lord. So here it says Avajananti Mam Buddha. So normal people, materialistic people don't understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna or Ram. They don't. They think he's a human being. Lord Ram came as a human being. Lord Krishna came as a human being to show us wonderful pastimes. But most people don't know, and we are so lucky that Srila Prabhupada has given us this process of understanding. And once we have this knowledge, then we can get liberation. And if you advance in liberation, then you can get love of Godhead. There was a sequence, but I'll come to that in a minute. So, one who does not know the spiritual potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead thinks of the Lord as an ordinary human being. But the Lord's mind, intelligence and senses can never be affected by material conditions. So then Madhvacharya gives a nice commentary about the personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra. That's it. So, Ashamaksham. For a woman cannot protect herself independently. So we went through this young age, your child is girl, looked after by parents, mother especially. Adolescence, she looks for a partner, gets married, she's protected by the husband, and then at an older age, the mother is looked after by the son. So this is something to learn. Can we go on to text 12? Possible? Yes? Okay. Yeah, we have time. Text 12.
Can I ask questions?
Yes.
Topic, heavy topic, protection of women. I've been so we're gonna discuss it in a few minutes, but there's a few comments. Vedic. In the name of Vedic, I know one man, he forbade his wife devotee. Don't work because you're gonna meet other men. Don't go to seminars, ISKCON seminars, you're going to meet some. So, that's a fanatic. But we have some, unfortunately. And So this thing, we have to apply it today, protection of the woman, How many women are killed by their husband, domestic violence is horrible. Statistics every other minute. So we have to face reality, not just this ideal of Vedic, and even among devotees, in the name of protection. And like a few years ago, there was some gang rapes, of a single woman. And after that, they decided to have self-defense classes for women. So, how much can you depend on the men these days, to protect you? There's so many rakshasas, it's going to exploit you. So it doesn't present a very great picture of men, as far as protection of women. So we have to put things in a modern context.
Do you have a particular question? One answer?
No question.
It's a comment.
Don't you think that men are always up to the standard? First we have to define what is protection. Because in the name of protection, shut up and don't think and don't do this. So, we've seen so many things in the name of protection, go in the back and...
All I can say is, I've been luckily brought up in a family from Krishna. We are all worshippers of Krishna. So my grandfather, father's father, everyone just worshipped Krishna. But the point is, I respect all my elders. I respect all my elders. In the old times, Guru Maharaj was saying, there are village, in the village. But the higher class, the Brahmins, they'll always make sure the women are protected. There was a system.
Yeah, but let's define protection, it's a big word, what is protection? Physical, mentally, emotional, spiritual, it's got to be defined because otherwise...
I'm sorry, I'm not qualified that much to debate. But it is true that there are so many, especially in the UK, there is, domestic violence. It's very, very strict, very, very strict. The police will just come and take the man away, put him in jail first. They will not ask questions. Yeah, it's very strict in England. They'll just take him, put him in jail, and then some solicitor has to fight the case. But otherwise, he has no chance. So women are protected in England. Anything, you just call the police. Even if your husband, you don't like your husband, you just say, he beat me, finish. They'll take him to the jail, not you. That's how protection women are getting in UK. Yes? I don't know, the same in France? No. But in UK, you just say, my husband beat me, he's in jail within a second. It's that powerful. The law. Can I move, with your permission, to text 12? Or no? Can I carry on? Can I carry on with text 12? Okay, thank you.
You got my permission.
Thank you. Okay, so now text 12. Sarvatam krita hata kritam ahan kabandam sakyam vitaya kapibir daita kritim tahi putvata valini hate plavagendra sanyir velam agatsa manajoja pavar Chitta Angrihi. Lord Ramachandra, whose lotus feet are worshipped by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, had assumed the form of a human being. Thus he performed the funeral ceremony of Jatayu, who was killed by Rama. The Lord then killed the demon named Kapanda, and after making friends with the monkey chiefs, killing Vali and arranging for the deliverance of Mother Sita, he went to the beach of the ocean. Let us read the word to word. Dabdva, by burning. Atma kritya hata kritam. after performing the religious rituals required after the death of Jatayu, who died for the Lord's cause. Ahan killed Kabandam, the demon Kabanda. Sakhyam, friendship with Aha, after creating. Kapivihi, with the monkey chiefs. Naita Katim, the arrangement for delivering Sita. Tai, by them. Budva, knowing. Atha, thereafter. Valini Hate, when Vali had been killed. Vali had been killed. Plavaga Indrasane, with the help of the soldiers of the monkeys. Velam, to the beach of the ocean. Agat, went. Saha, he, Lord Ramchandra. Manujaha, appearing as a human being. Aja, by Lord Brahma. Power, and by Lord Shiva. Archita Angrihi, whose lotus feet are worshipped. So, when Ravan kidnapped Sita, he was abstracted by the way, on the way by Jatayu, a large bird. But the powerful Ravan defeated Jatayu in the fight and cut his wing. When Ramachandra was searching for Sita, he found Jatayu almost dead, but was informed that Sita had been carried off by Ravana. When Jatayu died, Lord Ramachandra did the duty of a son by performing the funeral ceremony, and then he made friends with the monkeys to deliver Sita Devi. So Jatayu was sort of like an uncle to Lord Ram. Jatayu was very close friend of Dashrath, King Dashrath, and so Lord Ramachandra knew that he was a relative and like an uncle, so he did the final rites. But before Jatayu left his soul, he passed on a message, a very vital message to Lord Ramachandra, and what he should do to find out where Sita is. So there is in the translation, it's Jatayu, and then there is another demon called Kabanda. So Kabanda, I found out, is a demon who actually is 8 miles long, and his arms are very, very long. And he has no mouth like we have, mouth in the face. He had a mouth in the stomach. So it was horrible demon. Horrible demon. And anyway, when he was killed, again, like Jatayu, he almost killed. So he said, "Thank you for delivering me," because there was a curse behind this scene. There was a curse by Durvasana Muni. And that's why he had this body with the mouth in the stomach. Dangerous, very dangerous. So anyway, and then various sages he met, they all told him that when Lord Ramachandra comes in this forest, he will deliver you. So Lord Ramachandra came to deliver him, but then he was separated from his wife. So Kabanda was the person who told him, go and see or meet with Sugriva on this mountain, particular mountain, Rishabha mountain. Lord Ramachandra got a clue how to find his wife. So again, this knowledge actually gives us a guidance, it gives us direction. Before this knowledge, Srila Ramchandra, Bhagwan, he's in this role of a human being, otherwise he knows everything, but he's in the role of a human being that he's separated from his wife and he's in anxiety. Where is she? Who has taken her? This and that. So if somebody says, okay, I'll give you knowledge where she is, then they run. Krishna and Balaram go to this mountain and they look for Sugriva. Sugriva and his brother's name is Vali. And Vali is very powerful, very dangerous. And he was very lusty as well. So he was lusty after the kingdom. So he threw Sugriva out of the kingdom. And he also abducted his wife. So Sugriva was also separated from his wife. Lord Ramchandra is separated from his wife. So both of them were suffering separation. They could understand each other's feelings. So Sugriva, after a little battle, agreed to help Lord Ramchandra, and he was the main person, along with Hanuman, to set up the whole army. This will come in the next chapter, I think it's the next chapter, Kishkinda chapter. So that's where Lord Ramchandra meets Hanuman, that's where Lord Ramchandra meets Sugriva, and they all do the strategic planning how to, with the monkeys, as the army, how to attack Ravana. So that will come next time. But I made a few notes here about this verse, so I will read a little. And there is in the Bhagavatam, 11.5.34, this is the description of, this is the only verse in the Bhagavatam which describes Sadpuja form. So, I don't know if you can, there's a camera over there, is a camera. Okay. In the Bhagavatam, 11th canto, there is the photo of Sadbhuj. Sadbhuj means six-armed. So two arms are, Lord Krishna, two arms are Lord Ramchandra, and two arms are Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So six arm form, Sadbhuj. Two arms carry the water pot and staff of renunciate. Who is that? Water pot and staff of renunciate? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay? Two carry flute of Lord Krishna. One stick and one flute. That's Krishna. And two carry bow and arrow. And that is Lord Ramchandra. If you come to the manor on two occasions, Bhaktivedanta manor, Lord Ramachandra's appearance day, and on Dashera day. Dashera day we have a powerful, bow and arrow and everything, proper. He's got what we call it, covering, kavacha, in Sanskrit language, kavach. So on Dashera day, Ram is covered with kavach, Ram, Lakshman, powerful. They're going to war. And on both occasions, we have, Sita, Ram, Lakshman, and Hanuman, deities. You don't see them any other time of the year, but except for these two. Lord Rama's appearance day and on Dashera day. So deities are there. So that's that. And then this verse, as I said, 11.5.34, I'll read the purport, Srila Prabhupada's purport. According to the Vaishnava Acharyas, this important verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam is understood to describe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, and also Lord Sri Ramachandra. And then different sages commenting on that. So that's that. And Antyalila of CC, Chaitanya Charitamrita 2.257, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The holy name of Lord Ram certainly gives liberation, but holy name of Krishna transports one to the other side of the ocean of nations and at last gives one ecstatic love of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada actually gave us this Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now the Rama, there are three possibilities, no explanation, three. One Rama is Balaram is first expansion, Krishna's first expansion. Another Rama is Parashuram. Yeah, he's the incarnation of Krishna. Parashuram. Kshatriya, he killed 21 generations of Kshatriyas. So Parashuram, that's another Rama. And then this section of Bhagavatam we are dealing with Lord Ramachandra, so he's also Rama. So when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj said, if we follow a system of chanting where you just say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, that is not the Mahamantra. Because it's Rama. So His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj in the one holy name retreat in the manner he explained this very nicely, so we should always chant properly, not cut short and say Ram. That was his. So, Srila Prabhupada made all his effort, so we should just follow the system. Just say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, the other thing is, I forgot earlier, this demon called Kabanda. I said he's got very long arms. Yes, very long arms. So actually Krishna and Ram and Lakshman, they were trying to avoid him. But he had a long reach because he had long arms. So he got Ram in his right hand and Lakshman on his left hand. Got both of them. And then what happens is that Ram and Lakshman, they decide how should we kill this demon. So they had a sword each, and they each used their sword to cut the arms. And once they cut the arms, the demon was killed. But again, before he was killed, he said, "Thank you for delivering me. You can do the final rites." And he gave the message of going to see Sugriva. Yes, who will help you. So I was seeing Jananand Maharaj this morning do Guru Puja, and then the way he dances is, you see, the hands are used for dancing. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went South India, and that's where he actually started, getting together congregation chanting of Hare Krishna. So he's so tall, and his arms are so long, So when he dances like this, like Maharaj was dancing this morning, you put your hands together and high up, and then you dance. And actually, in India, when you go and some places are hilly, then you can still see, somebody dancing. So then you want to join that group, like Sankirtan group. So we are very lucky that we're fortunate that only recently Svayam Bhagavan Keshava Maharaj, he's also joined the sannyas list and he's going around preaching. And even in book distribution, when I was with him, I had to look high to see him and speak and understand what he's saying. But when he dances and chants, it is wonderful because he's tall. And everyone likes to see tall people, I'll tell you my sad story. Shall I? Should I tell you my sad story? Sorry, I should not, but I think I will. I was very young, and about 16 or 18. And then in college there was a Christmas play, and I'm not one of an actor, but I joined, I'm the only sort of Indian or colored person on the stage. There's all white in the school at that time. So anyway, the point is, after that celebration or Christmas celebration, then everyone has a dance or this or that. And I'm sitting on the sidelines, quiet, And then I asked a girl, can I have a dance with you? She said, I'm tired. In the next second, it wasn't a minute. The next second, because I don't touch girls or whatever, right? I didn't touch her. So next second, a tall man, a tall boy, he comes and he just takes his hand and says, "Come on, let's dance." And she does. So that is a sad story that I'm not told. So sorry about that, but I thought I would add that to you. Yeah. Anyways, we are talking about the hands and long hands. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is like that, chant and be happy. And Maharaj actually finally, today, not finally, but today he displayed that. And all the Maharajas go out and display, during Sankirtan, Harinam, nice dancing. And people like to join. Even they are far, the tourists in city centers, and they see a Sankirtan group going. Yeah, they want to join. I think it was in Villa Vrindavan when we went to St. Francis. Is it Villa Vrindavan? So Harinam means, I was there, and I'm not told, but I got the crowd to come in. And it was so easy to get them to come in because told people were dancing, young brahmacharis were dancing in circles, and it's wonderful. Harinam, Sankirtan. So we can use our hands, for that. Yeah. So that's fine. Srila Prabhupada also says in Madhya Lila 14:16, to become fit to return home back to Godhead. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, he's got so much mercy for us that he will deliver us. This was another good example. So to be happy. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the greatest boon in this age, that is referred to in Srimad Bhagavatam 3:21-7. One simply has to chant the holy name of the Lord to attain perfection in spiritual life. And then again in Srimad Bhagavatam 3:24-35, the best process in this age is the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Lord Ram is the epitome of Maryada Purushottam, Maryada Purushottam. So that means, he listened to his father, he was always obedient to caring for his brothers who are younger. So when somebody is young, you give, our system also, if somebody is conditioned soul, you try and be compassionate to him. You give him a book, you give him prasadam, you try and help him. If somebody is equal to you, you become friends. And if somebody is senior to you, you try and serve them in your best capacity. So this is relationships, how we should relate. And Lord Ramchandra, of course, listened to his father's orders. Our generation, or my generation, and my father's generation, and his father's generation, when we go to work, all the money goes to the mother. You go and work, whether you are 18 or 25 or whatever, you work, but all the money you collect, your wages, go directly to the mother. That was the system. Father looks after, father also works, but his money also goes to the mother, and they run the family. So, this is culture. So I think we are running over time. I'll stop there. There are more points, but stop there for comments and questions. And I'm sorry I didn't ask you to read after me the various words, word-to-word translation, and the verse actually. So, apologize for that. Hare Krishna.
One question. Because I heard that, I don't know if I understood well, that the name of Rama, Hare Krishna, Rama means also Radharani. So, do you know what Prabhupada said about it from some sadhus? I don't know if I understood well as well. Do you know what Prabhupada said about the real meaning of Rama when he chanted Rama?
No, you see, that's a good question, but as far as my understanding is concerned, Radharani is the internal potency of Krishna. So she actually comes under Hare. The first Hare. As I said, Sita Ram, Lakshman Hanuman. And Krishna. So Radha comes first. So here Hari is Radha. Hari is Radha. Hari is the energy of Krishna. Energy and energetic. Energetic is Krishna. Energy. This is my understanding. Maybe Maharajas can correct me if I'm wrong. Any other questions?
I have a question
Yes.
to the previous verse. So, what is the destination of a man who is attached to a great Vaishnavi, a great saint? So,
What was the destination for men?
no, a man attached to
That's
a
a
great
true one.
Vaishnavi,
Okay.
the great devotee of the Lord,
It says in Bhagavad Gita, whatever you think at the end of the Antikala, the Antikala, that verse. So, whatever is in our thought at the time of death, that is the consciousness which carries on to the next life.
So, is he going to be a woman or go back to Krishna?
It depends. I mean, if the Vaishnava is a devotee of Lord Krishna, he will become a devotee of Lord Krishna. That's what he decides. It's consciousness.
Regarding the Radha Raman, Prabhupada says, it's a question by Achyutananda, and he says, that Hari Ram, does it mean Radha Raman or does it mean Balaram? Prabhupada, no, Ram, Hari Ram, Ram means who enjoys, enjoyer, Ramante. Ramante yoginom nante satyande chidatmani Ram. The supreme absolute truth is called Ram because the transcendentalists take pleasure in the unlimited true pleasure of spiritual existence. Ram means Rama also, enjoyer. Rama means Lord Ramachandra. Rama means Balaram. So different positions we can accept, different. Devotee, also someone, Prabhupada, you say Radha Raman, devotee, yes. Prabhupada, you can say Radha Raman, the same meaning, Radha Raman or Radha Ram. Now even if Lord Ram can come, Prabhupada's kind of speaking, it's not like, but he's indicating yes, it does. Many people say that Radharani, there it goes on. That little conversation Prabhupada had on Radha Raman, a little bit about on the, you could see the nature of the chanter, not just, Krishna's not stuck in a kind of a box. I am, reciprocating with the devotee accordingly. Those who are devoted to Sita Ram now see it like that. There are not many devotees of Parashuram I know of, except for a Parashuram Prabhu in London. But Lord Parashuram, not so many. But certainly Gaudiya Vaishnavas, maybe Lord Balaram if you're in that rasa. Depends on the Lord reciprocating according to the Prabhupada definitely indicates here that yes, it can also mean Balaram.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki.